Hi, this is Russ with Advantage Property Management Services. Today we're going to talk about some of the hidden costs of property management, specifically what makes a good manager versus a bad manager and how that translates into higher net income for you and your property. Tenant screening is the most important part to maximize profit on your property. You want to look for a property manager who has a very refined screening process. If you put a bad tenant in place, it's going to cost you a lot of money. So a good property manager will have a great process to weed out those bad tenants that potentially will cost you a lot of money in tenant damage, having to evict them because they don't pay their rent, and then the cost of turning over that property and putting a better tenant in place. So a great property management company will have a very refined and defined screening process. A bad management company will not. Second is turnovers. Turnovers is a huge expense for property owners. You have vacancy from lost rent, you have the maintenance costs, you have leasing fees. A great property manager should be turning your property from the time a tenant moves out to the time a new tenant could move in 7 days or less. That's a very fast turnover that minimizes your downtime and allows a new tenant to move in very quickly to minimize your rent loss. A bad manager potentially could take 2, 3, 4, maybe even more than that weeks to get your property back on the market and rent ready. Every day that passes is money out of your pocket, not out of the manager's. So a good manager will do it quickly. The next is marketing. Once a property is on the market, a great manager will have a very clear process for responding to tenant inquiries, hopefully instantly, and then scheduling showings, and then having a clear process from showings to convert to applications, and then to a signed lease. Bad managers won't have such a clear process. Often it'll take them a day or 2 or 3 to respond to an email or a phone call from a prospect, then 3, 4 days to get a showing scheduled, and then a week or more to process an application. Again, every day that passes is money out of your pocket, so a great manager will do things very quickly. A bad manager will take their time. Lastly, we're going to talk about the cost of repairs. Every manager has a set of vendors that they like to use. Not all vendors are equal, and not all vendors charge the same thing. A great manager will have a very stable set of vendors that give discounts to their clients and pass those discounts on to you. An example would be a plumber. Some plumbers charge $90 an hour, some charge $150 an hour. A great manager will use a great plumber at $90 an hour. A bad manager, maybe because it's easier for them, will choose a plumber that's $120, $140 an hour. Every hour that passes that plumber's working at your property is costing you more money. So you want to look for a great manager who has a very stable set of vendors that are cost effective. Another example would be flooring. Another huge expense if you have to recarpet your property. It's very expensive. So if you find a management company that has a flooring vendor that's $1.80 a square foot versus $2.25 a square foot, again, that's just more money in your pocket if you can use the vendor that's cheaper. So those are some of the hidden costs of property managers. I encourage you to interview companies and look for those great property managers that will put more money into your pocket that will definitely exceed the cost of their management fees. If you have any more questions, feel free to give me a call at Advantage Property Management.